Before I start, I want to say one more thing about the last video that I did that had to do with carnivore prepping. Basically, that your prep is your health, and how the doctors don't seem to understand how to doctor anymore. They're really good at looking up things and using their little iPads and writing prescriptions, but beyond that, they don't know what to do. So I propose one thing that might solve all of that. I propose that every doctor and nurse must have a veterinary quarter, or whatever you want to call it. They must have some veterinary training. You know why? Because if you take a dog into the vet and you don't know what's wrong with it, and the doctor doesn't know what's wrong with it, what is the first thing they ask you? What are you feeding it? Have you seen many doctors ask you, what are you eating? I think I may have IBS. What are you eating? Maybe you're eating way too much fiber. So really what that does is, first you gotta ask the right question. Second, they need to know what the answer is themselves. They can't, okay, so you're eating this. If they don't know what to do with that information, it doesn't help much, does it? So yes, they should all be as good as veterinarians. And most of them are not. So yesterday I had a chest x-ray, only because I don't think there's anything wrong with my chest. I don't have pneumonia, I don't have any of that. That's my opinion. Because I'm living in this body, I don't think there's anything going on with my lungs. It's my throat, it's allergies, it's up in here. And the only reason I wasn't going to have it, I kept that order for a week before I thought, okay, I'll go ahead. Might as well be thorough. That's all that she knew how to do is tell me to go get a chest x-ray. Even though she listened to my chest and heard nothing, she told me to go get one. So I did. And that will eliminate that possibility, at least. I don't expect to get any help for this. I'm going to have to go to an allergist, and it's going to have to be recommended by my doctor's office to be sure that the Medicare and the TRICARE for Life supplement pays for it. So that's not going to happen overnight. I'm still waiting for them to call about my chest x-ray. I did it yesterday morning. We'll see what happens. I don't hold out much hope that they're going to help me at all. So, yeah, they should all be vets. It would be so much nicer. And I do want to say one thing. I've been working on something ever since 2012, when I broke my ankle and I was bedridden, and a former friend, she became a little bit of a loony, my former friend actually sent me one of those little bitty Acer netbooks so I could do something, because I'd said, well, laptops, I never thought laptops were of any use because I use desktops. And I said, but now I see they might have been, since I'm stuck in this bed and I can't sit up at my computer. And she said, well, I wasn't going to tell you, but she sent me one. And it was already coming. I started this 13 years, no, how many years ago? 13 years ago I started this. And I've completed it. This is my book. It's written in the style of nature writers. And it's all about our experiences moving from the suburbs to this rural mountain property, this wild rural mountain property, and all the challenges that we did, and what happens as we are getting older, and how the challenges have changed and the solutions have changed. And it's not a very long one, it's more like a novella length. But I can't just keep writing because, you know, it's nonfiction. If it was fiction, I could write as long as I want, make it as long as I want it. But writing this was a little bit different. It's kind of semi-autobiographical because it's our experiences and it's all completely true. And it will give you a little insight as to what might happen to you if you move from the suburbs or city into something like this area. So I'm very glad I got that done. Now all I have to do is proofread it for the 150th time and figure out how to format it and how to do all the stuff that goes with that. My son is author of 2 different books, and he wrote his through Amazon and Digit2 something and some kind of thing on Instagram, so people could get a paper copy of it as well as just download it. He may give me a little bit of insight on how to go about this, and I'm sure Steve Smith would probably weigh in a little bit if he had the time. He doesn't have a lot of time, I'm sure, but I'm going to have to figure out what to do with it. I just wanted to complete it. I wanted to complete something like that, and whatever it turns out to be, it doesn't have to be some big success, but I think it will sound a resounding note with some people. And yeah, so very happy I did that. My garden, my peas are doing gangbusters. Oh my goodness. They're coming up over the arches and they're meeting in the middle, and I've been picking peas off of them. They'll all be canned when I get to canning, and we've had enough tomatoes off our own plants to put tomato slices with every burger patty that we'd eaten, and so at least it did what it provided, what I needed it to provide. And oh, what else? The 4 Omega Rock cockerels that are now going to be 19 weeks old this Thursday. In 2 days they'll be 19 weeks old. They're all living together now. I've had that back for about a week because I found Ethel with her ripped scalp up there, and I thought it might be from boys competing and just not knowing what they're doing. And so I thought I'm going to have to put all the cockerels back together. I had separated the cell cockerels, and I thought it's going to be a knockdown drag out. But guess what? It really wasn't. It really wasn't. Because of one of the cell cockerels, the big boy with a floppy comb, his comb flops over. That boy has showed so much intelligence, breaking up fights. He disciplines his own people as well as the ones that I'll call my people. My 3 boys that I had separated from them. He's a disciplinarian, but he's not a fighter. He's very smart. He's a very common sense leader, and even though he's not show worthy because of that comb, and I don't know, maybe something else, but he's very, very smart. This would be a wonderful flock leader. I would hate for somebody to put him in a stew pot because he has such potential. I see it all the time. And he and Duncan, my Duncan, are getting along. And they sit side by side. A doe and fawn came out of the woods and came up to the pasture fence yesterday when all the boys were out, just the group of boys. And I heard an alarm call down at the fence, and I saw 2 of them standing there and craning their necks forward looking at something. And I'm following where they were seeing. All of a sudden, Duncan and Mr. I called the floppy comb guy the bouncer. They went running down to the gate and watched. And after a few seconds, the doe was sitting there, and the fawns were trying to nurse, and she didn't want to nurse. And I stood out there watching, and after a couple minutes, the boys who had alarmed first, they left the fence and they started dust bathing right there because they figured that's okay. But Duncan and the bouncer stayed down there, and he watched, both of them watched, side by side until the threat was gone, meaning the doe and her 2 little babies turned around and went back down the hill. So those 2 have really good potential. I'm glad Duncan's going to be in. He's one of my keepers. This other guy, he needs to be a keeper for somebody. If you don't want show worthy, this guy is big, he's beautiful, and he's very smart. The two scaredy cats from pen number 3. I call them Little Man, who was the smallest one for a long time. He's kind of big now, but I call him Little Man, and his bigger brother I just call Brother. Little Man and Brother. Brother has gotten to where he will actually eat a scratch out of my hand. Now he pecks hard, so he's not thinking about. He's thinking about get it and run. Get it and run. That's what he's doing. He's tense the whole time, and I try to just carefully just kind of rub his wattles in his chest when he's standing up there, and he will let me get there and touch him. He'll shake and he'll act like I'm going to hurt him. It's crazy. It's him and his brother are just alike, so that has to be some kind of genetic thing. None of them have gotten aggressive. So I still have these 4 males, and Jamie sells his breeding cockerels, his good breeding cockerels, for $50 to $75 a piece. You could have any one of these 4 for $50 to $75 less than that, because I honestly need them out of my hair. I need them to go to new homes. Those two brothers, I don't know if they're going to end up in somebody's stew pot or not. Somebody's going to lose their patience with them. I'm doing my best to calm them down, but they're petrified of the bouncer and some of my boys. They're petrified. They're just scared of everything. It's just unusual, let's just say. But I need those four gone somewhere else. I need the pen, and I need less work to do, less work on me. So if you know of anybody in the Tennessee, Georgia, North Carolina, tri-state area that might be interested in these, let me know. They'd be good, especially the bouncer, good flock leader right there. And I think even the other guy, who's his brother, who has nice comb, except one of the points is split into two at the end. He's very handsome. So anyway, that's all I want to say today. That's it, just kind of thing. And I just really do think nurses and doctors need to go through a veterinary module, or whatever you want to call it, before they treat patients, because that really is the first thing they should be asking. And then they should know the answer to what should you be eating, and not have the same old misinformation promoted by Ansel Keys and John Kellogg. So that's it. I'm going to go inside. It's going to rain again. I'm so tired of the rain. My pasture's just going crazy, and I can't cut it right now. So I've got to make sure I go down there. I got waterers to fill and such. So have a good day, everybody. Have a good week, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon. We'll see. I almost came and said I'm not going to do anything else till September, but I don't want to limit myself that way. If I feel like it, I will. Bye, everybody.